Hi, and welcome to another edition of Talking Sports. I'm Charlie DeBiase, sports writer for the Staten Island Advance. This week's topic is high school girls soccer, and we are at Staten Island Tech Field, which is home to the PSEL City Champion girls soccer team. We're joined by Coach Tony DiMaggio. Tony, thanks for joining the show this week.
Thank you, Charlie.
And the first thing I want to ask is, Tony's been coaching at Tech for 21 years. For the last 12 years, they've been very competitive in contending for the city title. Last year, you finally got that first city championship, and what I want to know is, how does it feel to be defending a city championship?
Well, this year, Charlie, we're feeling more pressure, and I think it's self-imposed because we really want to succeed again and get another championship. However, I see other teams are playing harder against us. They're playing a lot more defensive against us because we have a pretty darn good offense. And so we kind of see teams really coming to show their best stuff against us. So it's kind of an interesting year so far for us.
And when you talk about PSEL girls soccer on Staten Island for at least the last, roughly 12, 15 years, you talk about the rivalry between Tottenville and McKee Staten Island Tech. Tony, as strong as ever, I would assume?
We've always been competitive. George and I started coaching years and years ago together, and then we split. So we've always had fairly competitive, very competitive programs, not fairly competitive, I guess. And George and I just love playing each other. The kids come up for those games, and they're dying to play against us. We're dying to play against them. And there's no fear, and both teams just put it out on the field, just leave it there every game. So it's been kind of fun. And I think it's just two good programs with very good players who want to win.
Okay, now when you talk about McKee Staten Island Tech, you have to start with four-year varsity player, two-time Advance All-Star, Jenna Pepe. She's your center midfielder this year. Tell us about what she's been to the team so far.
Jenna brings a lot of soccer know-how to us. She's a very competitive player. She could play any position with the exception of goalie. She's probably one of our best assist players on the team. We'll look to her to get our scoring going again, and she gets the spirits of the team up. So Jenna's very important to this team, and she's been important for the past 4 years.
The Seagulls are currently 6-0 as of Wednesday, April 30th, and a couple of your leading scorers, the girls that give you production in terms of shots and stuff like that, are Jessica Panarella and Michelle Tartaglione. How important are they, men?
Michelle can take on a lot of players. She creates her own shots, and she's our leading scorer. We look to Michelle to keep us into the games. Jessie, on the other hand, Jessie is a good playmaker. Plus, Jessie has, in the last couple of years, developed quite an outside shot. She's an excellent dribbler. She penetrates well, and she sets up everything that we have going, and also she comes back and defensively she's a very good player. She takes on some of the most difficult center midfielders in the league, and she does a very good job with them. So they're both very important players along with Jenna. So the three of them, we really need the three of them.
You also have a top-notch defender in the back.
For Staten Island Tech has been noted over the years for our sweepers, going way back, and Lauren fits that category. Lauren Peters. Lauren is a very competitive player. She's tall, she's physical, and she can run, and she has great skills back there, and she commands the back, and she directs our whole defense. So we need the likes of Lauren back there, and of course we can't really go further than our goalie, Amanda Donovan, who's our captain, and Amanda directs us when they get into the box. So these people are very important to us.
Okay, now let's switch gears here and start talking about Tottenville. And Tony, Tottenville has a couple of seniors that have been not only leaders in terms of production, but also in terms of leadership on the field, in Casey Kenny and Nicole Parenti. What can you tell us about them?
Well, Casey is a tremendous dribbler, and you always have to watch Casey. She has a nose for the ball. She's always looking to put the ball, of course, into the net, and she does a lot of creating too. It makes the other players on the team a lot better too. Parenti is a good size player. She's very quick, and she handles the ball very well on the field, and she's another one, has a very deft shot, so you really have to stay on her. So the both of them do create a problem for other teams, and of course for us.
Tony, Tottenville also has a couple of younger players in Caitlin Regan and Brittany Sheeran, who also have been doing some damage.
Yeah, Caitlin has been really developing as a player. I've seen her play, but also the last game she scored a nice nifty goal against us that tied the game. So Caitlin proves that she's ready to play in this league. And Sharon's been doing some rather, I think Sharon's been, I don't know how many goals Sharon has offhand. She does a lot of scoring for them, and she's a very fast with the ball, very aggressive around the net. So these are kids that have been creating problems for us.
The Pirates also have a couple of top-notch and young goaltenders in Veronica Bolger and Julia Simonello.
Yeah, the last game we played against the Pirates, they split a game between the two of them, and both of them came up big in those games. They stopped a lot of dead-on shots that would have changed the complexion of that game. So they played very well against us, and he's lucky to have two good ones.
Well, the first time the Seagulls and the Pirates met, the Seagulls squeaked out a 2-1 victory at Tottenville under the lights. The rematch is May 16th at the Greenbelt Recreational Center. We'll see what happens. Now, third place team on Staten Island is Susan Wagner, and Tony, Susan Wagner, one of their leaders is none other than Megan Burke.
Megan's a very good player. Megan's very strong. She has a good nose for the goal. She has a good outside shot, and Megan's a person you always have to keep an eye on. Wagner also has a very good goalie in Maggie Studsrud. Maggie is probably one of the best goalies on the island. Even though the team perhaps is not up there in the standings, Maggie gets up there. Maggie is a very hard player, and always gives everybody a very difficult time in scoring. So she's one of the best out there right now.
And it also should be noted that Susan Wagner has a top-notch coach and former Advanced All-Star out of Newdorp, Carlene Rago. Tony, every year there's always one or two girls that come on the scene that make an immediate impact. So far, it looks like Patrides, Amanda Feldstein has done some damage. She is co-tied for the island lead with 13 goals. Looks like she might be the person this season.
She gives Patrides the scoring that they need, and I think the players on the team are always looking for her. So she's another one we have to keep an eye on when we play Patrides.
There have been rumors, I know there are talks going on about the possibility about the PSAL girls season moving to the fall, which would be quite interesting, since for the first time we'd be able to see the public schools play in the Catholic schools. We get a measuring stick by seeing it. We've never seen it before. What's your theory on that, and are you for it or against it?
Well, I can see it both ways. I can see it both as the pros of it, and I can see the cons of it. The pros of it would be that the girls would be playing basically a very competitive season, because it would give us a chance to play against the Catholic schools. Right. Also, we're coming and playing a better season. The weather's a lot better in the fall, which was very conducive to better play, because in the beginning when the girls were playing against the elements and things of that nature. I think also what we have to look at is the fact that it gives the girls maybe a little more exposure in terms of the college coaches. Right. So that might be the positives on that. All right. The negatives are the fact that we have problems here in Staten Island, as everybody else does, with field space.
Right.
And that would be our greatest drawback. Also, we have another problem in the sense that we don't have the best officiating in terms of trying to feed all these games, because we have a dual sport system. So that's what I think what some of our problems would be, Charlie.
Well, that's it for this edition of Talking Sports. I'd like to thank our guest, Tony DiMaggio, for joining us.
Charlie.
I'm Charlie DeBiase. And remember, for all the sports results, please log into www.silive.com.